Karl Abarth was born on the 15th of November 1908 in Austria, and since then something in the world of racing has changed. In 1928, Karl Abarth, who at the time was very young and worked in the Motor-Thun factory as a mechanic, rode a motorbike to replace an injured rider on the occasion of the qualification for the Austrian Motorcycle Grand Prix, and got the best time twice ahead of the best riders of that time. Karl Abarth shifted from two wheels to sidecars. He boosted the performance and fame of this vehicle thanks also to his strong marketing abilities. Indeed, he embarked on a seemingly impossible mission, challenging and defeating the Orient Express on the 1,372-kilometer stretch between Ostend and Paris. During the Second World War, Karl Abarth moved to Italy, obtaining citizenship in exchange for his sporting victories. He devoted himself to car engines, and after an intense and invaluable period at Cisitalia, in 1949 he founded Abarth & Co. in partnership with Angelo Scagliarini, father of Guido, the driver who would then join the Carlo Abarth racing team together with the best drivers of that time, men such as Vignale, Romano, and of course the legendary Tazio Nuvolari. Under the sign of the Scorpion, both the company emblem and Karl's star sign, the team won everything possible, but the expenses to bear were too high. Hence, Abarth's genius enabled him to conceive the first modification kit for the gear and exhaust terminals of the Fiat Topolino. It was a huge success because Abarth's kit enabled anyone to transform his or her own Topolino into a faster, more appealing and better-looking car. The brilliant manufacturer produced a range of cars which immediately started to record their first victories. One of these cars was the extremely successful Abarth 204 model 1100 saloon car. In the 50s, the first contacts with major companies were established: Fiat, Ferrari and Alfa Romeo. Yet the real turning point was the birth of the small Fiat 600. It was while working on this car that Abarth obtained one of his masterpieces, the 750. During those years, Karl Abarth's fame reached its peak, also because he started to manufacture top cars, working on the mechanical basis of small production cars. The year 1959 saw the birth of the Fiat 500. It was the car of young people, of speed lovers. It was a small and affordable car that was fun to drive due to its sporty handling. It was the real democratization of racing cars. And the successes obtained enabled Abarth to attract the interest of Fiat, which started to reward his small company for each win achieved in official races. Of course, victories were numerous, and the word Abarth entered everyday language as a synonym for performance modification, upgrading, and winning spirit. It was the time of idioms such as, "Is it a hare? No, an Abarth rabbit," or "A laced coffee please, an Abarth coffee," and so on. The expression "small but nasty," which has now entered everyday language, was coined for the small Abarth 500. This car has certainly become a legend, but all Abarth cars run all over the world and on all tracks. Witness the Fiat 1100, the Abarth Sim car, or prototypes that enabled him to win more than 800 races in 1967. Those years consolidated Abarth's fame nationally and established it at a global level. When he was 57 years old, Karl Abarth was still hungry for records and embarked on his last personal challenge against the clock. He broke the acceleration record with a Class E single-seater on the Monza racetrack, losing 30 kilos to be able to get into the car. The successes achieved during the 70s were the last victories that Karl Abarth was able to enjoy. Even though he was a born winner, used to being a match for anything and anyone, he had to surrender to a serious disease on the 23rd of October 1979, once again under the sign of the Scorpion, under which he was born. The death of its founder marked the end of an era, but the legend of the Scorpion is still alive. So, like the Phoenix, the Scorpion brand rose from its ashes, keeping alive its founder's philosophy, punch and passion.